Let's go, crew! Congratulations, MLS champions. We are the members of Sgt. Peppercorn's Marathon. This is Jesse, Phil, and myself, Joe. And we are going to be playing every Beatles song, and we are going to be celebrating the crew. And if you know anyone on the crew who wants to sing all together now at our show, please tell them to come. Tell them that I am basically best friends with Brian McBride since I served in bagels in 1997 at Sammy's Bagels on Lake Avenue. What's up, Brian McBride? Go, crew! Fans since 1996. Let's sing it all together now.
December 30th, Columbus Athenaeum. Please come join us.
So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's going out.
All right, we are here with the one, the only, the first ever Crew 2 captain, the winner of the inaugural Next Pro Cup, and honestly, Crew's GQ's most attractive player of all time. To be honest with you, that's definitely a true thing. Marco Micaletto, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good, especially after that introduction.
Yeah, bet you didn't know that.
No.
We talk a lot behind your back.
Hopefully it's good things.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to start out. I'm also here with President Bird, or as we call him, President Bird, but also Carlos. How you doing, Carlos?
Yeah, President Bird is just because I don't want my employers to know who I am online. But yeah, my name is Carlos. I'm doing well. Very happy to be here on more than a 2-minute stint with the podcast. And very happy to talk to Marco too. A big fan.
Yeah, Crew 2 wizard. Well, as we're talking to him, he is traveling south in Florida. Boo! But on his way to a wedding. I just kind of wanted to have a nice chat. And first of all, I want to say thank you for all you've done for, the Crew 2 organization and everything. Like, you've just been awesome. We love you, and we're going to miss the living crap out of you.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, I feel like both me and my wife, we've had such a good time there, and we were welcomed so warmly from the get-go by the club and the community. So it was kind of really easy for me to then try and give as much as I could back,
Yeah, we hope you stay, but I mean, you're kind of a Florida person, aren't you? Like, you've been there kind of a lot.
Yeah, my wife is from Georgia, so essentially whenever we decide to go on a holiday, we probably just get in the car and drive south for a few hours, which is easy,
Yeah. You've got the Florida accent, so that's how I knew. That's how I knew right away you were from Florida.
Away, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's going to be weird, but I kind of want to start from the beginning and just kind of get to know you a little better, just in case. I'm sure most of the people listening know who you are. That's just nature of this podcast. But I want to start out because I was researching like where you came from, what's going on. Growing up, where did you play and what was your experience like coming up?
Yeah, so I guess my first meaningful club was when I moved to England when I was 9 years old. Quite soon after that, I got picked up by Southampton, where I spent a couple of years there. And then after that, that was quite far from my house, actually. And then after that, I moved to Brentford FC, who we all now know as a Premier League club. But when I was growing up, they were in League Two. And it wasn't quite the same Brentford that we know now, facility-wise. But I spent 5 years there. About that time, 5 years there, which really, that was my main development as a player at Brentford. And then at 17, you get told you're not good enough. And so you sort of tags and figure what the next step is after that. But I quite remember, I was quite glad when they told me that they didn't want to sign me. I wasn't enjoying my soccer at all over there. And it was one of those things when they said, well, we don't, you're not going to get a first team or a scholarship. They called it a professional contract. I was like, all right, well, that's all right with me. Only in hindsight do you realise you're like, damn, maybe if I stuck around a little bit longer and tried a little bit harder. But, that's when we're young, our head's not quite the same, I guess.
No, and when you get older, it's also not quite the same. It just it totally gets worse.
Oh,
so you've been doing it for. I mean, so that means you were almost like a quasi-professional footballer for as long as you can remember. That's so weird. It's so much different over there than it is here.
Yeah, it's completely different. I mean, when I left Brentford in about a year and a half, that it was the break between, or 2 years between leaving Brentford and coming to the US to do the college route. I played semi-pro for a team that's called Godalming Town. I couldn't even tell you if they're still a club, to be completely honest with you. But that was like me, 17, 18, and my first experience of playing men's soccer, because it was, semi-pro. So I'm playing with 30-year-old men that, they have a 9 till 5, and then essentially they just want to take out their anger on a soccer field a weekend. So it was, it was a real eye-opener. But it was also, I think, really valuable for me to get that experience to understand what being a young lad in a locker room full of men is about. And, there's so much more learning than what you do on the field. Obviously, the intensity and the level of physicality was a huge jump for me. But it's being able to sit next to like a 30-year-old man who's got kids and real responsibilities when you're 17 is, I think if you're smart about it, you learn a lot about what life can be and what life can also be, the positives and the negatives,
Yeah. And you don't have kids, right?
No, not yet. Work in progress, I guess. I don't know,
yeah. If you were to ask me and I was sitting next to you, I'd be like, Marco, don't have kids right now. Live your life. Go to Florida. Go on all the vacation. Stay in school. So you decided to hop on a plane and come on over here. Let's see. So you came over to Young Harris College. How did that happen?
That was it happened in I'd say about 2 weeks, and it was quite an interesting time in the Micaletto household, because my friend had gone over to Young Harris College the year prior to that. And so I was I could see through him what the college route could have been. And I just said, I'd just been released. I had nothing else to do. And I just didn't want to do university in England because it's way more academic over there than it is over here. So in the space of 2 weeks, the option of America came up. He told his coach. His coach sort of looked at my CV and I watched a couple of clips or whatever it was and offered me the scholarship. And it was like me and my dad were almost hiding it from my mum, or my mum didn't really want to hear anything about it. So it was like,
makes sense.
She was once it all materialized and everything, and we had to eventually break the news. All right, Mum, I'm going to America. It was difficult, but she was at the same time she never really showed that it was difficult for her. She was always really supportive of me,
That's awesome.
went to Young Harris with zero understanding of what America is. Didn't know anything about Division 1, Division 2, or anything like that. Just sort of jumped on a plane and went.
I love that. Well, I mean, and honestly, the difference between Division 1 and Division 2 is still kind of like, I don't know. Like,
exactly.
Hard to say, really. Exactly. That's awesome. So you were there and you graduated from there, right?
I graduated in 3 years. I did a few summer classes.
Because you're a genius.
No. Just because I ended up spending the summers in America to play soccer, summer league. And so summer classes, you could get the same amount of credits for like 6 weeks. So I said, well, this is crazy. I'm going to just do this. So I ended up doing it in 3 years. And then I was then able to go to Akron my senior year and also begin the masters that I finished, which, I'm gonna need it further down the line,
Yeah.
So Akron, for the people that don't really know, even growing up for me, I'm a little bit older. That was, I think are they Division 1? I think they're Division.
Yeah.
Division 1. Okay, but that is one of the best soccer schools in America. Like that's where Porter came from. That's where I think Trapp came from. That's where Nagby. Yeah. Bush,
I think.
which is crazy because chances are the people listening to this are from Ohio. So Akron is such a weird city to be a destination for soccer. It doesn't. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you got to play at the high. I mean, that's like the highest level, especially like back in the day, like at the time, if it wasn't, quote unquote pro, that was the highest level. That was like,
that's
Akron
right.
was the best school for soccer.
That's right. And we made it, my year, we made it all the way to the national championship final and lost to Maryland.
Yeah.
And like just that experience alone was it was an incredible. I mean, I was at Akron for 4 months. I showed up in August and I left in December, and I just played the summer.
What?
And that was it. Because then I signed pro after that. So I played my senior year there, begun my masters, and ended up finishing it online.
So you left there. You played at the highest level. You went pro. You got your masters. What has Bird and I been doing with our lives? Nothing. Probably nothing, right?
You've probably been having fun.
Yeah. No. Thanks, Marco. I appreciate it, but
yeah,
not really. Oh, actually, I was still playing soccer. I still play soccer year round. I grew up with a guy who went to Maryland. Maryland was also an awesome school for soccer. Indiana was another one.
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
Russell Rowe went for Maryland,
cool.
right?
That's right. Jason went to Maryland, and obviously Aidan Morris was Indiana.
Yep. So you never stopped playing soccer, and then you graduated and immediately signed pro. You signed pro with was that USL, the USL team?
That's right, Tormenta FC in the USL.
Yeah. How is the USL? I know. So this is I did have a question about that. Like, how was the USL? I don't know much about the USL.
So I signed for Tormenta FC in its inaugural year as a pro franchise. So it was. Look, it's really cool. The thing about me, like, I love football. I love the game, playing it, but I also really, really enjoy the other side of the sport. And so for me to be able to be in a club that literally just began and watch it grow, and there's a lot of learning lessons, and they aren't easy and stuff, But it was cool. It was a great experience. Me and the owners there, they're like family to me. They were at my wedding. I'll be probably going to spend a few days at their house over the Christmas period and stuff. So I've got nothing but amazing things to say about the people that run the club and the club itself. Now, when you compare what the USL club in general, not all, have infrastructure-wise to the MLS, well, you can't compare it. And obviously the financial aspect of it is massive. The difference, the gap is just it's enormous. And that was really the thing that, when I first arrived, fresh off the USL to an MLS franchise, I couldn't believe it. I'd walk around the facility with just my jaw to the ground, just like seeing what the lads at the crew have access to. Now, I have also been told that it wasn't always like this. I think the training.
I was going to say it was not always like that.
Yeah, right. So I guess I came at a perfect time. So I got lucky in that sense. Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool. You got to be, the face of basically 2 new franchises. That's kind of fun and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing, and it's always an honor. And I think once you do it and you finish it, you can be proud of it. But I've never ever wanted to be a captain or a leader or a face of anything. Just wanted to show up every day. And I remember one of the first conversations I had with Laurent Courtois, the gaffer at the second team. I just said, look, I promise you, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. You say jump, I say how high, all of these things. Just don't make me a captain. Don't care. I don't want it. I'll do whatever I need to do regardless of it. And, lo and behold, like 2 days later, I was appointed captain. And
that's what you get.
Yeah, it was kind of like a slap. But at the same time, it was a positive one in the end now that I look back at it. And it really, at that point, you don't have a choice. You have to you have to step up, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you did
So-
too. Yeah, I think
So
it's
are
funny.
we
It's
as
like,
fans,
okay,
for
so I'm
sure,
one of the best
for sure.
players. I'm super nice, and yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I got all this stuff, and I'll do whatever you say, but don't make me captain. He's like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he
That was that.
gets for
Boom.
leading by example, right? Like showing up every day and working hard. You get recognized.
Yeah. Well, the good thing, the tricky thing about captaincy is when it goes well, it's a good thing. When it doesn't go well, though, you do have a little bit extra responsibility on the others. And I was just blessed, to be honest with you, to have the first year's team was just, it was a horse competing against ponies. It was just not fair, the firepower we had every single week. And that's why I genuinely feel like, maybe apart from obviously the final result this year, I gave way more to the team and to the club this year than I did last year. Last year, I felt like I just sort of enjoyed all the benefits of being part of this legendary team. And then this year, it wasn't like that. We weren't the best by 11 or by player on the field every single week. So there was so much more hard work that went into it, and that's why I'm much more proud of the accomplishment that we achieved this year than last.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
Well, speaking of, how did the Crew 2? Let's get into the Crew stuff. How did that happen? How did you get involved in the Crew 2?
I remember it quite clearly. Actually, I just received a call from my agent in the middle of August the August before Crew 2 even started. And Corey Ray, the GM, he'd been a GM at Toronto FC, and with Tormenta in the USL, Toronto FC was in our league, so we played against them a few times, so I must have been on their radar. And he just gets a call, my agent calls and said, well, Columbus Crew 2 want you. And I said, what's Columbus Crew 2? Like, I know about Columbus Crew, but what's the 2 next to it? And it was like, well, there's this brand new league starting, and it's the reserve of the first team, and it's for the youngsters, but, there's ambition to go to the first team, and they want you in. And I just said, like, all right, well, I'm not doing that. I literally said, I don't want to be a babysitter. And we moved on the conversation, we just moved on. And then my agent just kept on coming back with me and saying, hey, you should think about it. Why don't we just get on the phone with Corey? Let's have a look. And then it took one Zoom call with Corey Ray where he explained to me the project, but to be completely honest with you, I'm more to just figure out who am I going to play for as a person. And Corey's fantastic. And so the moment I was like, all right, if that's my boss, I'll play for that guy. Let's do it. Let's go there. And that's how it went. And then we spent the next couple of months, because I was still under contract, they had to essentially buy me out of Tormenta. And Tormenta, to credit to them, I went to the owner and I said, I love you guys, I love this place, but I really want to go try this. And they could have absolutely just said no, or said, yeah, but we're going to sell you for millions, and obviously nobody was going to buy me for millions. And they said, all right, well, we'll take it from here. We'll connect with Columbus Crew, and we need to get what we need out of it, but we promise you we won't be the one to stop this from happening. And they held their word, and they helped me pack, and they drove me to the airport essentially. So that's how I ended up at the Crew.
That's so nice of them. Like, that is,
I know.
I don't know. It'd be tough considering how close you were with them.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not.
I shouldn't be getting emotional. What is happening?
It's just not the business side of football that I think a lot of people are used to, and that's why I was so blessed. And that's why we're still in great. We still keep in touch. As I said, I'll be seeing them real soon, and it'll always be my little home. Now, I just never expected the Crew, Columbus as a city and the Crew as a club to become as homely as it did. But it sure enough did for me and my wife,
Yeah, I'm glad you feel that way, because I grew up here. Bird's actually is living in Denver currently, right?
Oh, wow.
Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's off in the Cup, as still followed you. Yeah. But I love this city, and I always felt like that. I mean,
I've been in Denver for the whole Crew 2 history, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So we give a big crap about our teams, especially in Columbus, because we don't have like a football team. Like, it's the Crew is, and we're Columbus and the Outer Belt is a pretty big soccer town in general. Like, everybody plays, or at least was my experience. So we get somebody we love, and it's like, we're not going to let them go. But here we are. So speaking of that, so you came to Crew 2. Do you think that was the right call to do that, to get you to position yourself moving forward?
Yeah, because 2 years later, it's funny, we had this conversation with Corey Ray and Laurent Courtois. 2 years later, I think I'm a better player. I think I'm a better person. And I think more importantly to everybody, I've shown that I can play with the first team. I can play at the MLS level. Once you get in there, you realize that it's not as easy as you're good enough, we'll sign you. It's like, you're good enough, okay, do we need you? Maybe. But there's so many boxes that you have to tick, and there's so many situations that have to line up for a player to be signed to the first team, which, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue against the rules of the game. That's fine. I can walk away from the Crew kind of at peace, knowing that, I am good enough. That is pretty cool. It didn't work out at the Crew, but that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never have to doubt whether, when I'm retired and whatever, I can say, I could have played at a level. I could have been on an MLS field and held my own. And I don't know. To me, that's comforting to know. Of course, would I have liked the full cake and gotten the contract and gotten to run out to lower.com when it was packed and stuff? Yeah, that would have been amazing. It didn't happen, but a lot of other great things happened. So,
Yeah, I hear that. I don't know. It bums me out as well. I mean, I totally get it. It's just different when they're, and speaking of the devil, that's the kind of leads to the next question is, the system, for Courtois' system. How did you, this is all kind of new to me. I've always loved that 3-4-3 attacking thing that, I'm a Tottenham fan, so Ange plays it too. Yeah. Kind of the high pressing stuff. I love it. But was this your first time kind of playing in that system?
Yeah.
Like that style? Yeah,
for sure it was. And again, I was just, me and Laurent, we see football in the same way. Well, actually, that's insulting to him, because I think he sees football in a way that nobody can really see it like him. But I like everything he's ever tried to tell me or made the team do. So I had zero reserve into whenever he told me to do something, I'm just going to do it. There was never an aspect of anything that he ever said that made me doubt. He's a genius, honestly. Like, the guy's just a genius. And I don't know if you had a chance. Have you guys ever YouTubed him?
As a player?
Define you to like him play or his?
Yeah, look him up as a player on YouTube.
No.
Guys, this guy was crazy. Like, there's a video of him like nutmegging Sergio Ramos and taking it past Pepe in the Bernabeu, and so once you see that, right, you're like, well, I've got to listen to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this guy's literally done it against Real Madrid, the Galacticos at the Bernabeu, and he's scored volleys from 30 yards out, and that gives him. Yeah, we never. I didn't actually. I knew he was a former player, but I didn't. And he's very humble, and he wouldn't tell you. But he was an incredible player. So
if I did all that, I would tell everybody I know.
You're right.
I'd be at McDonald's. Like, I'll take a number one. Also, I'm not making Capy at the Bernabeu. And they're like, but no, and I'm like, no big deal.
You need to go just YouTube Laurent Courtois and enjoy it for like 10-minute video or whatever it is, because it's pretty cool.
I love that. So was that the first time you playing in that specific type of system?
Sorry, that it was in a 3-4-3, and my blessing and my curse is that I never had a position, so I'm very adaptable. I can play. You play me in the front three, you can play me in the middle four, you can change the formation and use me somewhere like it. So with Laurent, I think he also really enjoyed that aspect of me, because he knew that wherever I was going to be put on that field, he had that position covered and what roles I'd have to perform under that system. And the system is pretty easy. It's like, let's get the ball back. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss. Let's get the ball back. And
you can.
Yeah, good. Let's get that ball back high. Let's strangle them, squeeze them. And then when we have the ball, how quickly can we go score goals? Now, that developed in year two, obviously with Wilfred Nancy coming in and his philosophy, his model. We wanted to try and replicate it a little bit, to make sure that we're still the same club. We might be two different teams, but we need to just stay in line with one another. Yeah. So we started building out the back a little bit more, and we tried to engage or allow the teams to come and try press us so that we could break them, and then we would still be, the whole Laurent Courtois mentality is, how quickly can we go to the goal? We don't care about losing the ball. As long as we're trying to lose it the right way, we'll win it back right away anyway. And for me, that run around like a headless chicken, it's fun.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It just seems like,
So is that why Laurent says that he's obsessed with losing the ball?
Yeah, he loves losing the ball, but it's got to be done right. And that's, as a player, that's amazing, because so many of us have played for coaches where, like, you lose the ball, it's the end of the world. It's like, why did you? And with Laurent, it's like, no. If you're losing the ball because you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to be vertical, and you're trying to be aggressive, and once you've realised you've lost that ball, you are, busting your lungs to make sure you win it back. That's brilliant. Let's do that.
Yeah, it also gives you the freedom to try things, and especially in the final third. And then if you lose it, it's like, hey man, totally cool. Just get it back.
Let's go get it back. That's right.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, because growing up, I was just like, yeah, you lose it, you get back in defensive shape, you get in your zone. But it's like, no, just go get it back. And it's like, I didn't realize I could do this. It's like, yeah, dude,
just hunt. Just go hunt.
Get it. Yeah. So where are you most comfortable on the field when you play?
I don't know. So obviously now I've entered free agency. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's a crazy new fashion that I never knew was going on. Now every club that wants you, they need to do like a Zoom call. So I feel like I'm interviewing for jobs when I sit down on these Zoom calls.
Welcome to COVID.
Yeah.
Post-COVID.
I was like, really? This is a thing now? Anyway. And every single Zoom call, they'll be like, oh, so what's your favorite position? What position do you think you're best at? And I don't know, guys. I feel like my job is to come there and you guys put me in a position and I'll do my best to be the best I can at it. But you should ask the coach.
You could just be like, not goalie.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be very good in goal, but I promise you I'll give it a good shot. So we'll see.
You're so charming. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, I always just wondered, because it seems like that, because he used you all over the place, and I felt like both that is like a burden and a blessing. because it's just like, if you're looking for a specific player to do one little specific job, it's like, well, you can do that. You can do it great, but you can also do all this other stuff. And it's like, I kind of see that with Zawa in the first team.
Yeah.
It's like, I can play here pretty good, and then I can also play here. And it's just like, it's hard to find, someone like that.
And,
I don't know. That's just, that's my unintelligent thing.
It's not unintelligent.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the first team, and I'm looking at your skill set going like, yeah, he can play anywhere, but also like he makes one sub a game, and I'm like, okay, I mean,
at the start of the year,
at the start
of the year, they were quite explicit with it. It was like, well, you've got Matan and Zalarayan in front. And I'm like, well, yeah, they're pretty good. I'm not going to argue with that logic.
And then we got rid of. Yeah, we got Zellerayan, and we're like, he's gone because he didn't, like, quote unquote, they don't play with like a normal 10, or what? There was some other stuff as well, but it was totally fine letting him go. And I'm like, if you could just let him go, like, all right, like, I mean, like you said earlier, like, I can leave Columbus with my head held high. I'm like, yeah, dude, if that's what happens to Zelly, okay, cool. Like, it's not because you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even close.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk. I just want to ask, like, inaugural season. I mean, I was there. I think Bird was there. You won the cup. What is will you remember much about that game? I mean, that like just
the championship game.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the most things I'm proud most about is that I fully enjoyed every day leading up to it, the whole game, the after party, and that was just because it was funny. We were talking about it in the locker room days before. Like, we're just going to go win this game. And I used to tell the boys, make sure you're enjoying today, yesterday, tomorrow, because we're going to win this game, and it's going to be horrible when, in 2 years from now they ask you about it and you were so stressed out leading up to it that you don't even remember what even happened. I said, boys, we'll be all right. We'll win this game. We'll smash them. So, like, I remember everything about it. It was just unbelievable week. The energy in that training ground from us, we managed to kind of create a little bubble because I know that it's a difficult, that's a completely different conversation that we can have. But you've got two teams in that training ground. You've got the first team and the second team, and as much as you try and integrate, you're still two complete different leagues. Two different seasons. You win on the weekend, but the first team loses. You have to remember that, And so our inaugural year, they were always on the brisk of the playoffs, and then obviously we all know what happened down in Orlando. And we were, we were in the championship game and stuff. So there was that.
Awkward.
Yeah, well, it's not even. It's just like you want to be respectful, especially because. Like the lads between the first and the second team, like there's some serious friendships, So us walking around last year, you can imagine with Mo Farsi and Jason having played half the year for us, us walking around and we were all on cloud nine because we're in the championship final, and then the first team lads, they might be struggling for the playoffs or whatever. You can't be showing that you're all smiley and roses and stuff. You have to also be respectful, just like you wish they'd do it if it was the other way around. So it was kind of weird, but within the twos locker room, there was like this really positive bubble where like we just felt like we just knew that nothing or nobody was going to beat us. Even that St. Louis team, we did the film session in them, and they had, I mean, when you look at their starters from last year, final, when they're all in the first team now, so we knew this.
That's what I was going to say. There are
all of them. Ostrak is like a DP or whatever it was, and it still didn't really scare us. Maybe we were so arrogant that we just said, yeah, whatever, this guy, we'll just crack him first 5 minutes and it'll be all right. It was that type of mood. So yeah, I remember a lot about it, and I love the memories I've got about it.
Hello, Adam Hernandez here, fellow crew fan and Columbus-based artist, muralist, and designer. When I'm not making art, I'm looking at art. And when I'm looking at art, I want it to come to life. That's why I made my new augmented reality prints. What's an augmented reality print, you may ask? Well, I make my really cool psychedelic art come to life in the palm of your hand. Check out my website, ahernandezart.com, or at ahernandezart to learn more. They're really rad. ahernandezart.
So, as it stands now, you are free agent, right? You're looking now. Are you looking to continue to play?
Yeah. Still looking, and pretty close to something as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I figured it's there's no doubt in my mind that it was going to come. Well, let's put a pin in the MLS Next Pro. What do you think about that league, and kind of compare it to USL and stuff like that? I know the money situation thing is different.
I mean, obviously, like, we can talk about the infrastructure. But I think the biggest thing about that I enjoyed about about MLS Next Pro. This is the thing I love the most, and also the thing that I would say is the biggest criticism of it.
Yeah.
Results. You don't live and die by results, which I hate, because I love winning and I hate losing. And like, when you lose, it needs to mean that the world has crumbled, and when you win, it needs to mean, you know what I mean? But at the same time,
you're professional.
Right. It allows every team to go out there and play. Every team tries to play for the most part. Some can do it, some can't. Some coaches better than others, but every game felt like there's football being played out there. USL, you can't say the same because results are so important. They dictate, coaches get sacked a lot. I can't think of a single MLS Next Pro coach that was sacked. And there's teams that lost.
That's a good call. I don't either.
I mean, there's teams, bless Cincinnati, like, my God, but the results clearly don't impact that too much, right? Whereas in the USL they do. And so you do find teams that they will just kick and boot, and you've come off the field and you feel like it's World War III, and that is something that the young lads playing MLS Next Pro, they won't experience much of that, and that is a massive part of football, because you go to the first team when you play against the Red Bulls, and they're just going to truck you and and run you and stuff. You've come playing from MLS Next Pro, you're going to be like, whoa, why are we not slowing down and like playing the ball on the ground and stuff? And like, that's not how it works in the men's,
Yeah, Red Bull system.
Right. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, I love that. Bert, I think you had a question about the current teammates.
Oh yeah. I just curious. There was a big change on how the team was formed. I think from the first season to the second season, we kind of talked about it, and I think it was really cool how you and the leadership and the guys who remained from year 1 to year 2 were able to really elevate those kids from the academy and make them better. And seeing the progress that they made and how it was all able to click together and go back all the way back to the final with such a young team was awesome. And my question is, as the remaining crew 2 teammates, is there anyone you could say that we should keep an eye on? Someone that you think is going to make a big leap next year? I'm kind of a nerd for the crew 2 and like following all the players, so I just want to know, on the inside scoop, who is the person that I should be bugging the front office to let me buy a jersey from?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I guess I hadn't really thought too much of it, so I might, off the bat, I think we all know Taha is a special talent. I think the most impressive thing about him this year for me was we all knew he was good, and he knows he's good. When you get called up to the national team and stuff, you don't need someone else to tell you that you're a good player. I think whatever's happening to you kind of dictates that. But
as a captain, you got to knock him down a peg.
Yeah,
not that good, Taha.
But he was told, listen, you need to just be better off the ball. You need to do the dirty work if you want to be a midfielder, and all of these things. When you get told that and you're 17, it's so easy to just say, I'm good enough anyway. I'm gonna just carry on like being a pretty boy and doing the fun stuff. Whereas he took that and he ran with it, and in training he would frack people. And I was like, okay, it was that moment that I said, yeah, this guy's got it. This guy's going to make it to the league, and he's going to have a great career ahead of him. So I know that's an easy answer, but I know Taha's got it in him. I think a name that I love, and I really hope that he figures out what he needs to figure out to make it, is Jordan Knight. He could really be special. He could really be special. It's just a little couple of mental gaps, and clean up technically, and he could really do it.
All right. Well, Marco, thank you for being so open and honest with us. I really, really, really appreciate it. I know it's kind of a trying time. I'm really stoked that you have stuff moving forward. I just wanted to hit some rapid fire questions at you to kind of, in this whole thing and let you get back to the wedding festivities. Yeah. Well, we were just talking actually, you got your dog with you, Louie. I know you're a big dog guy. You guys ever consider a cat? You guys ever consider a cat? You guys ever think about getting a cat?
Unfortunately, I'm allergic to cats, and I didn't know it. It's not like a bad allergy, but I do get the old sniffles, and my eyes start watering, and I start sneezing. So yeah, like me and my wife, we love all animals. Like if we go to Petco, we would come out with ferrets and hamsters and rabbits and fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, a cat is for sure would have made the cut, but unfortunately, I don't allow us to. Yeah,
it just didn't really fit your immune system. Like you have your system that you play, and yeah, it doesn't fit your immune system. Nailed it. All right, so yeah, so we know that you were the Crew GQ's #1 most attractive guy of all time. Have you ever thought about bringing your ponytail back?
Oh,
we can give you time to talk to your wife about it. Maybe
the answer is it's not. No, it's not coming back. Did you like it? Yeah, she liked it. It wasn't. I think it's
Steven Seagal.
Well, I think she has to say yes, doesn't
she? Yeah. She's doing the cutoff
but probably. Yeah, she's going no with her head and going, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if I could grow that hair, I'd do it in a heartbeat, but I'd look more like the villain from Die Hard. Receding hairline, ponytail. Friggin' brutal. Well, all right. So yeah, you were originally Italian, right? And I think our fans want to know.
That's right.
Do you have any favorite restaurants in Columbus, specifically Italian, maybe, or whatever?
Which one did we go to? We went to Spec, but that was. It's not that one.
I got one I want to throw out.
Cento. Cento in the German Village.
Got it. Were you guys in German Village? Is that where?
No, we stayed up in Clintonville.
That's what's up.
We're not. Yeah, we wish we were German Village people. We're not quite that bougie yet. And even Cento was quite expensive as well for our standards, but it's good. It's some good food if you can. If we can treat yourself. We took my mum and dad when they came to visit to give them the real Italian test. My mum and my dad, of course, but my mum is a wizard in the kitchen. Yeah. So if she gave the thumbs up, then it was good enough for most. And she gave the thumbs up.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I lived in Marion Village, and I always told people I lived in German Village, but no, I didn't. Yeah, I was like, I got to walk around with a knife out, but still German Village, right? I'm hip. I'm cool. No, Clintonville was my jam.
Just hide.
I loved it. Did you ever go to Villanova? Oh, no. Man. Just north of Clintonville. It's like where that Target's at. Oh, that was my favorite Italian restaurant.
In Graceland?
Yeah. It's just north of that. Dang, but it's like family owned. One room has the most teapots in the world. And then in the other room had the most, the bar area had the most. It's super kitschy and really weird, and it's all homemade. I wouldn't say it's great food, but it's all homemade, ranch sauce and
cool.
Stuff.
That's really
it's cool. If you ever go there, I mean, it's weird. Don't get me wrong. You'll look out of place for sure. You've got all your teeth, so you'll be way out of place. But I love that place if you ever back up. Well, thanks again. I think we talked about kind of what's next for you. You know, you're still shopping around doing all the Zoom calls. This was actually a Zoom call to see if you wanted to play on my co-ed team. Maybe you and your wife combo.
You know, I had a feeling.
Yeah,
I had a feeling I was
I
getting
think
recruited.
you've made the cut, but I'll have to hit the coach up, which is also me. So if you ever want to play over 30,
my wife. Yeah, my wife would be the real signing. I tell you that.
I'll take you. It's hard to find girls, especially now that we're getting older. People keep having kids, so it's like can't play, got kids. It's like I get it.
God.
I know. The last thing I wanted to touch on, and I just felt like, you know, talking to you and like, you know, hearing all your stuff before. Have you ever thought about like down the road going after being a coach, like coaching?
Yeah, I've thought about it about 2 seconds and said absolutely no,
No.
because it's the hardest job in the world. You're always going to make people unhappy, and I don't like that. I try my best to make people happy. So what I do like is you know, someone above the coach, someone that fires the coach.
Oh, nice. Administration.
I don't really know. Yeah, technical directors or GMs. I feel like GMs deal with a lot of just bullshit.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
I'd like to just deal with whatever matters on the field. You know, the footballing.
I was gonna say when you said GM, I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd. Yeah, a GM that just worries about football.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk to Bez. I'm sure Bez has got something. I grew up with Bez, so we'll see. Yeah,
he's and that's, you know, to be honest, that is the one thing that stood out to me the most about the crew. Everybody from the front office, from the very top, Bez to Donna, who works at the front door. It's just amazing. It's the best thing about the crew is that it's an organization filled with good people. Now they might get it right and they might get it wrong. You know, that's not. You can be a good person and still not be good at your job or whatever, right? But the one thing that they are good at their jobs, and they are really, really, really good human beings. They've done so much for me in 2 years from a personal level. Be it, you know, maybe some family emergency happened, they would have me a ticket back home overnight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
like that. They're fantastic people. They really are.
Yeah. I have to say it wasn't always like that, but when Bez came in, and especially with the new ownership coming in, it's been because Bez was up at Toronto.
Yeah.
And he also went to DeSales. Like I grew up playing soccer like against him and stuff. So like I've known him. His dad was my dentist for 20 years until he stopped taking my insurance.
No way.
Yeah. So I was always like going to the dentist and like, hey, how's Toronto doing? He's like, well, he's pretty much getting the city to pay for a stadium. I'm like, yeah, that's tight. Like
everything. Yeah.
Like he's got it figured out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love it. Well, again, thank you so much. If I can't wait to see what comes up for you. I'm so excited. And I'm so, you know, heartbroken that it didn't work out, but you made an absolute impact for, you know, the crew 2, our organization. Like the fans love you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Man. Thank you.
No, thank you guys. It means a lot, honestly. When you leave a place after 2 years and you get these comments, then you can walk away thinking, all right, it's been good. It's been positive. I've done something good. And me and my wife, we feel the very same way about, you know, you guys.
Yeah. And she's from Georgia and we forgive her. So that's
that's
okay. Oh yeah. I know you're listening. I can hear you.
When we go home for Thanksgiving, it was all, you know, the Buckeyes versus the
Dogs.
Talk.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring it up. Yeah. I've been to Savannah a bunch with my wife. Savannah was great. It's humid, but beautiful. It is truly beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, you guys drive safe. Thank you so much for coming on. How can people follow you and keep up with you? What's the best way?
I mean, I guess just social media. Instagram, I think, is probably the only one I use. I'm getting and Twitter. I guess I feel like I'm getting old because I'm not on TikTok.
I'm not either.
Now, you know, the young lads will be like, "Have you seen this TikTok?" And I've got to be the one that says, "No, I don't have TikTok."
Yeah, open your phone. I don't have it downloaded.
You feel old. Yeah, yeah. But no, honestly, they can follow me, but they can be sure to know that I'll be keeping a very close eye on the crew. You know, I'm a fan, and I'll always will be from now on. So
I love it. Yeah, it's hard to believe that it was only 2 years. Like, I was thinking about that before we hopped on here. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Well, it seems like he's just
Yeah.
been like, you were
Yeah.
like you were at the start. You were like the quintessential guy. It felt like we were losing, you know, it was like so weird. It's like when we lost Gavin, I was like, he's just so instrumental to us. And I was just like, oh, 2 years. Woo. But
nah, we'll be fine. We'll find the next Capy captain, and he'll do better than me, and it'll be great. That's what
totally won't happen, but I appreciate your optimism. Thank you so much, Marco. All right, well, you two drive safe. I'm done all this stuff, but thank you. We'll stay in touch.
Perfect.
All the best, Marco.
Thank you guys again.
All right, see ya.
Appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
Did you Bird's the one that coined Cappies, like the capybara stuff,
Yeah,
I think.
That was my idea.
I feel like I'm almost starstruck by that, and also I feel very honoured to know that Bird's name is Carlos. I feel like I'm in the inn now.
Yeah, you don't tell anybody.
Bird, but we don't know. Yeah, I won't. It's an exclusive club, and I want to be, make sure it stays exclusive. So it's really cool.